And people can talk about me all they want to and tell me I don't need to be here and all of that kind of stuff. But y'all are the people, y'all are the reason why Aaron Carter felt the way that he felt. Y'all are the reason.
No, I agree.
I'm just being honest. They're the reason.
I want to ask Teriyaki Daddy, pause. I'm not gonna call you Daddy. Teriyaki dude, what was some of the stuff? I know it took me a while to get you on here.
Nah, all good. I wanted to confront him so bad because he was just a week ago, he was on Staffy K saying, oh, coincidentally, my flights were cancelled by Aaron's management and pushing a conspiracy theory. Now he's changed his mind completely and it's something else. Like, he's so fucking full of shit. I know. He's a fucking loser.
That's all I wanted to understand.
No,
because honestly, this whole time, Check has been going back and forth between he was murdered, it was this random number, who did this, and somebody did this, Louis did this, and it's just really confusing because he acts or he says that he cares so much, but it's like it didn't seem like
best and worst thing that's ever happened to his career. What if you want to call it a fucking career? He's a loser, and I just want to. I wish he was on here right now so I could call him out from just the other day, Staffy on Staffy, saying complete opposite to shit that he was just saying just then. And I want to call him out on those points, but he runs and hides when it gets too much.
Yeah, and that's sad.
Exactly.
That's real sad that he can call himself an asset to Aaron's legacy or his estate, but can't, articulate his actual presence and or career.
When Aaron had all those drugs on his tongue, all those pills, he was laughing. He was carrying on, oh, bro. And Aaron's like, yeah, this is my life, and dropping all these pills on his tongue, and he thought it was hilarious. And now he's like, oh, I couldn't do anything about it. Well, you could have not laughed. You could have said, hey, bro, what are you doing? Or when he was nodding out next to you on live, you could have said, hey, what the fuck are you doing? Like, called people for an intervention, done something. But no, he doesn't give a fuck. He only cares about himself and his own career. He'd throw his grandmother under the bus if it would further his career. He's a scumbag. And I'm not saying he's to blame. Aaron's to blame for his own death, but to sit there and pretend he's like some victim and playing this, oh, I lost my friend. Bro, Aaron changed his friends quicker than he changed his fucking clothes.
Especially in the last couple of months. Like, ever since Aaron started meeting the Joker gang and all of his Florida friends, that was like his epitome of not well. So when they keep bringing up, oh, he looked better when he was with me and he looked better when I was around, it's like, okay, people who do drugs, their weight fluctuates. People who start eating and then, binge for a couple of days, like, his weight fluctuated. I don't see why they keep bringing up his weight like that's going to change something. I don't know what I hate
that the Nick cop out, like, oh, it's all Nick's fault. Bro, like, siblings fight, but siblings don't go out and accuse one another. If my brother was accused of rape, I wouldn't be siding with the chick that accused, unless I was in the room and witnessed that happen. I wouldn't be siding with the other party. Aaron was just being vindictive. And to say that Nick had anything to do with Aaron, it's just bullshit.
The problem is that people keep trying to blame Nick for a bunch of stuff, but Aaron also had similar stuff. Like, they came from the same fucked up family. They both have the same fucked up traumas from being kids in the industry. I don't understand why people either pick or choose who they're going to have sympathy for. Like, okay, Nick has rape allegations. Aaron has allegations. Like, they both have done shit. They both have addiction issues. They both had mental and emotional problems. I'm so confused as to why Chet and other people feel the need to just blame, like, his family. They've been trying to help Aaron since Aaron was fucking a teenager.
But in their personal life, Nick's somewhat, I don't know what his past is or whatever, but he's redeemed himself. He's not on live carrying on like a fucking idiot, getting face tattoos and pretending he's a gangster. Like, he's got a family. He seems like a decent guy. I don't understand why they would. If my brother did what Aaron did to Nick, there's no fucking way I would speak to him. All the petty sibling shit, I would let go. But And like, you know, me and my brothers would fight as kids, but if they, you know, joined my accusers, there's no way I'd have anything to do with them, especially if they were drug addicts and doing stupid shit, getting face tattoos, you know, like, it's so easy to see what it is for what it is. At some point, you got to pull the pin and go, I can't help this person anymore. The best thing I can do for this person is not enable them and walk away.
Exactly.
And I would have done exactly the same Nick did.
Exactly. And that's why I was trying to ask Check how he can just put all the blame on the family when Aaron was obviously disturbed. Like, none of us are going to know exactly what Aaron was going through, but you can't start just, yeah, that's that putting blame on other people. And I feel like Check feels bad because at the end of the day, he definitely knows he enabled this. He made Aaron feel like it was okay. He made Aaron feel like it was funny and it was cool and like it was the shit to do. And he made Aaron feel like, okay, I'm gonna keep doing it because my friends say it's cool.
He was just trying to hang on to that friendship, because I can guarantee you, if he said something to Aaron and fronted Aaron, Aaron would have cut him out of his life within a second. So he had no choice but to keep Aaron as his friend so he could further his career. He had to just be a yes man.
Yeah, I believe that. And I think that's why his manager 5Gs is so adamant on being on lives with him, because he sees how emotional that he gets and he'll fuck up and say some shit. You know, I don't think this is going to help Check's career, because Check didn't, and I keep telling him that, he didn't really have a career before Aaron, and this really just stunted any growth that he was going to have. And I feel bad for him. That's part of the reason why I was trying to have him and Ghost do some like music shit to at least drown out the bullshit. Whenever Check goes on live, it's bullshit. Like, Check doesn't do anything substantial, and I don't know, man. But I've talked to you before. You make a lot of sense. I don't understand why. I want Check to come back in here so we could ask him about that that interview he did.
I don't know if it's an American thing, but it's like you guys are living in like a post-truth world or something. It's like everybody's trying to lie, and it's okay to lie.
We had Donald Trump as a president,
cool,
so
and scamming everyone is okay. Yeah. Like, what the fuck? Like, how is it? If I ask anyone here what they thought of Andrew Tate, I'm not going to find anyone to say a positive word about that moron. But he seems to have appeal or something over there. Or maybe I'm reading it wrong. I don't know.
I could argue. I could argue for Tate. He says some real stuff, but he again does over the board. I do feel like it's an American thing. Like I said, since we had Trump as president, everybody's like, fuck it, it's fair game. I'm gonna just say whatever the fuck I want to say and get away with it.
Yeah, it's quite sad though that you don't know what reality is. It's like the smallest thing. People will try and link a conspiracy theory to it. It's so stupid.
It keeps it going.
It's like
Aaron's death. It came and went very quickly. It was like the day of, you had a lot of, you know, celebrities and people posting stuff, and it was a lot of condolences. But right after, it went back to the same way. Like, Aaron wasn't what they keep trying to make him be, and they're trying to like force his legacy to go on, and his legacy stopped at all of this Instagram shit and all of his antics.
Yeah. I'm seeing heaps of comments about Tate. Look, if a moron says enough stuff, they're going to eventually say smart things. You know what I mean? I don't disagree with everything he said, but some of the things that I don't agree with he said were pretty fucking off the handle. You know, so he's not someone that I would look to, and I think anyone tying themselves to Tate's opinion is going to regret that shit, because in a couple of years' time, when he's irrelevant, they'll have comments that will swirl around the internet about them praising him.
Hell, it might not take that long, because if, you know, he gets convicted for his sex crimes, or what is it, sex trafficking, then he's got a lot.
You don't run a company, a webcam company like that out of Romania for shits and giggles. Like, why wouldn't you run that out of the UK or America? Because you can't exploit people as easy as you can over there. People are desperate. I can guarantee you, I only have to hear that guy for 10 minutes to figure out that he's got a shitload of skeletons in his closet. I don't know if I could, if I'm better at reading people than other people, I don't know. But I can tell you right now, that guy's not clean. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that guy out. He's not a good guy. How many of these webcam girls are driving around in Bugattis?
Right.
You know?
Or how many of them actually wanted to be doing what they were doing? Because the way he talks, he sounds like a very much so, I'm going to make you or get you to do what I want you to do.
I think that accent fools people into thinking he's a lot smarter than what he is.
The accent,
as well.
But he was a fighter.
He's articulate.
I think people are too afraid to challenge him because of how good he was at fighting.
Yeah, he's quite articulate, and people get intimidated by that and freeze up. Yeah. But yeah, I've heard him. I saw a video of some chick with bruises and trying to get away from him, and then locked herself in the bathroom. Like, apparently that's an old video. I'm like, how the fuck haven't I seen that yet?
Which video?
I saw some video just the other day, but I had a look at the date, and it had been on there since like 2019, of some chick covered in bruises, and him talking vile shit to her, and then she escapes into a bathroom and locks herself in a bathroom trying to get away from Andrew. So I'm like, how come that's not not picking up as much traction as his other shit?
With that one, I think they like released the longer footage or whatever, and it was like a sex thing where she was like, you didn't hit me hard enough, and he was like, I'll beat the shit out of you, and she was like, do it then.
Well, there you go. Post-truth world. Yeah, I'm getting told one thing and it's edited out to be something else completely.
Now, the way that they edit stuff is really crazy.
I thought Johnny Depp was a scumbag until I watched the trial. I'm like, oh my God, this chick is wicked.
And no, Amber Heard she is scary. Like those type of, I was going to call her a bitch, but those type of females are ridiculous.
Yeah, it scares me that how many of those kind of people are out there. Like, look at Randy Lim, for instance. Like, imagine how many nutcases like that are out there. And it scares the fuck out of me.
There's a lot on my goddamn YouTube, and I've been trying to have a conversation with at least one of them. I'm glad Panda got on. I would have loved for her to still be back on because I had questions for her too. But yeah, there was a lot of crazy people that are just like online in general, but the ones who have like these obsessions with like Aaron and Tate and all these people, like they're on a whole different level of weird.
I don't know what ever happened to just living a nice, comfortable, mediocre life. Like, why do you have to be famous or flashy, or do you know what I mean? Like, I'm quite content living an average life. Like, I don't feel the need to drive around in Ferraris and big note myself. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't know what that appeal is, but yeah.
Live, my bad.
Anyway, I'll jump off and let someone else chat to you.
Okay. Yeah, if you want to come back on, you can. I don't know what the fuck else I'm supposed to talk about because
if he jumps back on, add me because I want to confront that.
Yeah.
The little rat.
He's somewhere crying right now. I don't.
Sorry,
who's this?
My laugh.
You're
for a minute because I had to get my daughter to bed. But
see you, Rico.
All right, see you later, man. Thank you for coming on.
Cheers.
Jennifer Sosa, I don't know who you are, but all I got to say is you must not follow me on TikTok, sweetheart, because Aaron Carter did not murder himself. I don't know why you keep throwing that up, but he didn't kill himself. So how about you go somewhere?
I sent the live discussion, Savage.
What do you?
That's Jans. I had some questions for you because you've known him, a long time, and you seem very level-headed. And I'm just gonna be honest. Most of the girls who I've seen or heard talk about Aaron are fucking batshit crazy. They don't have like any sense. Yeah. They're just straight, like just everything Aaron says is true. He's a god and he could do no wrong. My question for you is,
I know him, but he ain't gonna go on a pedestal.
So you agree that Aaron had his issues, and you agree that. Well, my question was: is it really that people made Aaron do or act the way he acted, or is it that Aaron amplified what they were doing, if that makes sense, or what they were saying?
Some things about Aaron is Aaron had a multi-personality disorder. So he would go one way 1 minute and like do a complete 380 another minute. Like he was always all over the place. He wasn't there. So I mean, what y'all seen on live was Aaron under the influence of things. He wasn't sober. That was a completely different person. I don't even call that person Aaron.
Said.
That
and
was
I think those are the people who really knew Aaron, knew that once he started with the face tats and the no jumper and the lives, it was gone.
There was a lot going on. He did the face tattoos for a reason. Aaron actually did the face tattoos because growing up, he knew that his face was his moneymaker. Aaron had the best face that you could ever ask for, but then he let himself go. So got beautiful again, rather, when he got his teeth done and, all that. And he was seen icon again. He started making money. And then he's like, all right, no, I'm going to fuck that up. So he started getting tattoos and stuff all over his face. That's why he did it, because of the multiple issues that he had going on. It wasn't because, he just wanted all that shit on his face. That's another reason why before he died, he was actually going to have all that shit removed. All of his tattoos.
I remember saying that a few times. I think for a lot of people like Czech, their real problem is the fact that they didn't know the real Aaron. Lena said something that was so prolific, and she was basically like, the last couple of years of his life, if you knew him, you didn't know him. You knew whatever this character was he was playing. And I think a lot of people like Czech and Ghost and other people have like, they feel bad within themselves because they were allowing the shit to happen, not knowing that this person is Rico. This is not true. What's not true? Bride of Chucky.
I don't know who this Bride of Chucky person is, but apparently I think this is another one of Crystal Ann's little minions, which is also a psycho freak of Aaron's. Aaron thought she was absolutely batshit crazy, so
and that's another thing. I would like people, and this is how I know that you're being genuine about what you're saying, is that Aaron, the people he kept close, he didn't really let the world know about. Like, Aaron knew how to keep stuff private. He knew what not to, have just out there. And I've never seen you on his lives while he was high or doing anything. Like, I've never seen you, your name pop up when. So.
There was too, because I didn't need to be in the public eye. I mean, let me just say this. I'm not in it for clout or fame or wanting to be famous or popular or none of that shit. That's why I don't have any followers on Instagram. I kept my stuff private for a reason. Like, I don't have that many followers on TikTok. I don't need to be famous. I don't need to be popular. Everything I know about Aaron is behind closed doors. You know what I'm saying? We don't need to break that into public. I don't need to bring that shit out here and say, oh, I knew Aaron for 5 or 10 years. Let me go ahead and show you screenshots or pictures or, us standing side by side or holding hands. No, I'm not about that life. Right. So I'm not going to do shit like that. Honestly, I don't know who you are, and I don't know why you're coming at me because you don't even know. Like,
is that the Bride of Chucky?
Do you know the person?
Yeah, I'm trying to add her. I don't even know who she is. It's so hard to talk to people through like typing and shit, but
I know that she goes live with Crystal Ann a lot, and she knows Crystal Ann, or Crystal Ann's always talking about her, but Crystal Ann was one of them people that when Aaron would go live while he was high and huffing on air duster, she would go in there and say, oh, he's fine, he's faking it, he's fine. When after he ended his live, I would get a phone call. He would be so batshit off his ass that he couldn't even speak words.
I'm trying to bring the Bride of Chucky up. I sent her a request. Let's try one more time. But no, I agree with you, and I think my biggest problem is that I'm a big believer and you attract the energy you put out. And I'm not sure if it was just the alter ego, the mental health, the drugs, or like a combination. But whatever energy Aaron started putting out when he went on No Jumper till his passing, I genuinely think that's the cause for a lot of the trolling. Like before that, he of course got negative comments like anybody else, but it, increased to a crazy ass level once he, started coming on live saying shit, flashing the guns, being.
He was definitely, a lot of people got blocked from my live last night because either one, you had no followers or a profile picture, and two, I don't support negativity and a bunch of bullshit, so you get blocked. End of the day, that's it. I don't do it. I'm not about that life. I don't entertain negative
Okay,
people.
so I'm guessing
So,
Gratichucky ignored the request. It says she can't come on the live. Who about the
just so
clout?
you know,
Who are you
if y'all,
talking to?
if y'all really want to know a lot of stuff about Aaron, I'm about to be on a podcast January 12th. It's going to be on the podcast What's the Buzz Popcast. So on Facebook and YouTube, it'll be at 7
What
o'clock.
day?
Y'all can come and check it out on January 12th. If I didn't know Aaron, I wouldn't be going on podcasts, just so you know.
Oh, he said some dumb meat. Yeah, you're confusing me, man. You're talking to somebody in the comments. So you're going to the podcast to like talk about the Aaron that you knew, or do they have you like doing some or talking about something specific?
Basically, it's a raw, uncut, unedited podcast. We're just gonna lay it all out there. We're laying it all out there. I mean, it's unedited, it's raw. You're gonna find out some shit that people probably never knew. That's all
I'll definitely check it out. I've never heard of the podcast, but I will try to remember. I followed you on Instagram, so hopefully I can.
It's called What's the Buzz Popcast. Is what it's called. It's on Facebook and YouTube.
I'm gonna pin this comment real quick so I remember. Got you. Okay.
Yeah, that's it right there. But it's up at 7 Eastern. I'm gonna be on there, speaking about lots of shit. I mean, like I said, I know a lot of stuff. A lot of people probably didn't know a lot of personal shit that he wouldn't tell nobody else. I mean, like I said, at the end of the day, you got these people that, I mean, yeah, I didn't get to meet him in person or hold his hand or give him a hug or nothing like that. But you do got these people that are just internet followers. And I'm calling her out. But Crystal Land is definitely one of them. One of the ones that, oh, I love Darren, I love Darren, I love Darren. Right. Oh, he's not huffing. That's just, he's trolling y'all. And then he dies. And Check did make a good point, though. Let me tell you. Okay? Check did make a good point about one thing. He did say that Aaron died from sudden death, right? Let me give you some research on some shit. For people that are smart. If you inhale air duster too much at a high velocity for too long of a time, you will die. Your brain shuts the fuck off, your heart stops, and you're dead. Which means, yeah, he probably did very well die from sudden death. But does that mean that he was alone when it happened? No. But I am saying at the end of the day, there are a lot of people that enabled him. One being Check, one being Crystal Ann, one being his manager Taylor, others being his girl Melanie.
No, I believe it completely, and I think they did it like Check was trying to say, because Aaron would like get mad at them or remove them from his life. But I feel like those people had something more to benefit from him being fucked up or him still doing, the shit that he was doing.
The thing is, when Aaron was completely trashed or wasted or out of his mind or batshit, that's when those people would come in and they knew when he was messed up, he was easily easy to manipulate. Like, for instance, she was like just literally digging gold off of him constantly. That's why she's in the state court right now. That's why she's battling so hard with Angel. to try to get this damn money because she thinks that she's owed something because she had a baby and she spread her damn legs, which she does all over the place, I'm sure. And I'm pretty sure she's been spreading it for checks from what I've seen.
Okay,
but that's another story.
A lot of people have been saying that privately Aaron was concerned about Check, or like he was iffy. He didn't really trust him too much. Did Aaron?
So about months ago, Aaron did speak about the Check and Melanie situation. He had a suspicion that Check knew Melanie before he met him. And it's been going around that somehow they were introduced to each other, that the whole live that he met Check was set up, and that Melanie knew him first. How true that is, I don't know. But that's what I was told by him. And he was iffy about even wanting to work with Check or be friends with Check. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. To work with Check or be friends with Check. Then you seen Aaron kind of be distant there at the beginning, and Check kind of like wanted to force his way in. And Aaron's like, man, I don't know this guy, like, you know, whatever. But then they started hanging out and all this and all that. Many people suspected that Prince could be Check's. I mean, that's what people are saying. There's all this shit floating around saying that Melanie and Check were sleeping together first before Aaron met him. Like, all kinds of stuff was going on. And it's just crazy that, you know, that there's all this shit floating around and nobody knows what's really true. There's also been said that there was supposed to be a DNA test done on Princeton, and there was never proof that it was done. So nobody knows if Princeton belongs to Aaron or not, because the test was never done.
Let's just say it's really Aaron's, right? Because I feel like Aaron had a lot of, I don't want to call it paranoia, but he was skeptical about a lot of people and a lot of things.
Aaron had chronic schizophrenia.
I mean, we knew that. He said it before, but he liked to, you know, say it wasn't true.
He wanted people to know what his mental illnesses were.
What he said when he went on the doctors and he had listed bipolar personality disorder, schizophrenia?
Yep. It's on paper. It's on paper. Aaron really had serious shit going on in his life that nobody really believed and knew. Everybody thought that he was lying or that he was just carrying on some bullshit, and that's not true. He had some serious
Why do you think he played into the it's not real, that's not true, instead of like the sympathy? A lot of
here's the thing. Let me say this. People love drama. Okay? When there's drama and there's shit happening, people are like fireflies to a light. They go to it. It attracts people. It attracts drama. Like everybody in this chat. People love drama. That's why they talk shit. Because they have nothing better to do. Right? That's why Aaron did so much shit that he did. Like, for instance, as an example, a couple nights before he died, I don't know if you've seen his live, where he was talking about Melanie sending him text messages. And he blatantly read out parts of the text messages that he wanted y'all to know. Those weren't what Melanie did not just say you are going to die. Melanie told him, I love you. If you do not stop the stuff that you're doing and quit using dusters, you are going to die. That was the complete text message. I seen it for proof. I know that's what it said. He only read the you're going to die part to get attention from all the viewers. Sympathetic. People sympathized with that shit, and then they turned around and they gifted the shit out of him. I'm sorry, Aaron. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. And then he dies, and now you have these. I can't say the word because I don't want to cuss on here.
Say whatever the fuck you want to.
Whatever.
Oh no. Sassy cat. You have been commenting a lot. Would you like to come up here? Do you have anything that you would like to add? For Fly Back to Me, I think it might be as long as you sign the birth certificate, at least for California, the DNA test doesn't come until after one of the parents is trying to change the birth certificate. But for the most part, if I'm correct, because I did, born and raised in California, I'm pretty sure as long as you sign the birth certificate, they don't like do the DNA test. Her phone must have died or something.
Yeah, I think that's Aaron was just paranoid about that sort of stuff. I think personally, because he couldn't have had all of those things that he said on the doctor. It doesn't make sense. No one has 5 mental health diagnoses that serious. I think he was probably borderline personality, and I think when he got on the source, he I think he then had delusions because you could see how manic he was. Like he'd wake up some days perfectly normal. The next morning he'd wake up and he's just manic as hell, clicking his finger, blocking people. It just doesn't make sense that would have schizophrenia, bipolar. Like it's just, I don't think you can have. You know what I mean? I think it'd have to be categorized down into one. Look, I'm not 100% sure. I'm not a doctor, but it just doesn't make sense that. And I think another thing, that gabapentin stuff that I've taken that before for like nerve pain, and it's not something light. Like it's thrown out there, like, oh,
Yeah,
gabapentin, because people don't know what it is. But it messes you up. I took it for 2 days, and I didn't really understand what depression was until I
you're
took that
like,
stuff. It was horrible. I like and it wiped me out harder. I've never had Xanax, but I've had Valium before,
mhm.
and it wiped me out way harder than Valium ever did. And I'm just like, they gave me like, it came with like 60 in a box, and they gave me 5 repeats of it. So it wasn't even hard to get. Like, so I don't know what it's like over there, but gabapentin's not something to just brush away. Like, oh, he was just taking gabapentin. Like, and he was doubling that up with Xanax on top of that. Like, I don't know how I would feel.
It's like it was a lot of different. On the live, he specifically said it was uppers and downers. Now, I don't know how true that was because I don't know all the different pills that was on his tongue. But I will say that nobody who cared about him should have been like encouraging the mixing of it on live in the day at nighttime. Like, just because he had a prescription does not mean that it was okay.
Oh, yeah. He could have been going to 5 different doctors and saying something completely
Oh
different
yeah,
to each of them, you know?
California and doctor shopping is very easy.
Yeah, well, it's easy where I am, trust me. And yeah, people do it professionally to make money and sell it on the
Okay.
streets. But yeah, and I'm sure that happens everywhere. But yeah, some of the drugs that he rattled off, I don't know about all of them, but he lightly said things like, "Oh, I'm just taking gabapentin for this," and I'm like, "Well, I've taken that before, and I know it's not just a, a light thing to be taking it. I'm pretty like I don't have a tolerance to any of that stuff, so maybe it affected me more. But yeah, it wiped me out after 2 days, and so taking that daily at who knows what dose, and then on top of all the other shit he was taking, like it's a wonder that he lasted as long as he did. To be
I think
honest.
he lasted, and this is just my opinion. I think he lasted because of how many people were watching his lives, and whether people want to call them haters, trolls, whatever the fuck, those people gave him the attention that he needed to keep getting on, keep waking up, and keep like going on. Even if he was being a complete dick, and people were messaging, like commenting a bunch of terrible shit that hurt his feelings, he was still like, it's attention. People are talking about me or to me, or it gave him what he
Yeah.
needed. It was hell. Social media and attention was, I feel like, his biggest drug of choice.
You know what I found funny about Aaron, that from a distance, watching him from a distance, it looked like he lived quite a nice, comfortable life. Like he pretended that it was up and like he was living the A-list celebrity life, and he wasn't. But he had a nice home, nice cars. He had what a majority of people don't have, and he didn't have to get up every day and go work a hard job for it either.
Right.
And a lot of people would wish they were in that position, and yet he was so miserable really in that position. So I think it's good to take a bit of perspective on that, like you can be comfortable in life and still be miserable.
No, I agree. I'm sorry, Panda. I don't know what keeps happening. Like,
My internet went down. Like, it's being
okay,
a piece
oh,
of
you're
shit.
good.
I have
I
Spectrum.
understand. I'm in the South, so my connection goes.
I was trying to answer his question about the pills, though. So he took gabapentin, Xanax, Roxycontins, Oxycontins, Percocets.
First of all,
yeah. And he had a little bit of
yeah,
it's not
methadone.
methadone.
He was taking methadone?
I was gonna say meth, but
Okay,
it was methadone.
listen,
He
I
bought it off the street.
personally seen what looks like a meth pipe in his possession. From your knowledge, when he couldn't get prescription drugs, would he go get drugs?
Yes.
Okay. So
Aaron did not just smoke weed.
I thought he was into the downers though, and the crack pipe is an upper, isn't it?
Yeah. Crack, speed, meth, whatever you want to call it. Those two, they're uppers. But that's why if he's taking all of those different pills, he didn't care about uppers or downers. He just wanted to be intoxicated. I want to know if Chet keeps saying that, everyone around him made sure that he wasn't doing that shit. He only smoked weed around me. I feel like you had to have known. Like, you've seen him getting street pills. Why would you not think that he's getting street other?
Because they didn't care. They didn't care.
Right.
They cared for when they got benefit. That's the thing. They cared for when they got
call him
benefit.
winding his window down and throwing a pill out and complaining about it being dodgy. And I'm like, well, where are you getting these fucking pills from? Remember that?
People that bring them to him, like his own manager, his manager and all the people he hung around with were the ones that were producing the shit.
They wanted to keep him happy, so he was still doing whatever, they were getting out of it.
Hey, I got a question, Rico. So I was trying to think back the other week about the first time I started watching Aaron content, because it's kind of a bit of a blur, because I would watch him and then I wouldn't for months, and then it was kind of when I was bored or something. But anyway, I started watching him when a UPS driver pulled up there one day and his girlfriend was inside, and it caused the big issue. Do you remember when that was?
Absolutely, yeah. It was
2019?
Lancaster House. Yeah, it was hilarious. Funny. The girls were just driving around. They were fans. He was like, yeah, come in, come chill, come listen to some beats. I'm smoking weed. Of course, he was flirting. I think the girl had her location on, and that's how her boyfriend was able to find her, who was the UPS driver. But that was to me, that was at the height of his paranoia. That was before he started to switch from paranoid to clout chasing, almost. Like, he knew what to say and what to do to get people to that was when he was really just being Aaron.
That was before Melanie, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, way before Melanie.
He was addicted to being live. He just had to have the live attention. And I love him as a person, don't get me wrong, but he had to have that attention no matter what form. And I can't tell you how many times he went live while intoxicated or high that he had no idea.
And that's why I used to tell people that I don't think he's always lying when he would say the stuff he said. I genuinely think he didn't remember or just didn't believe it.
He didn't. He didn't understand what he was saying. He's kind of like, when he was messing up on the dusters, he would literally do so much. It was a temporary high, but he would do so much that he would need to keep doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it. And he was literally had the mind capacity of a newborn baby at that point.
someone who's pretty drug naive like myself, can I ask a question for you? So, like in my early 20s, I did a bit of cocaine. I took weed once, but it made me paranoid. But I did a bit of coke, and I've still got friends that are single that are still
Right.
doing it, but only on weekends. They're not hooked on it, and I
Right.
enjoyed it, and I could understand why someone would want to continue doing it because it was fun. Is there any part of Aaron that could have just liked doing drugs and just didn't because he enjoyed doing them? Or is that just
It was a thrill. It was the rush of adrenaline, just the feeling that he got. It
yeah?
was, y'all have seen him multiple times,
Yeah,
riding his ATVs and shit like that. Aaron, Aaron lived for the thrill of things. It was just the rush, the feeling of it. It wasn't because, you know, how most drug addicts are, most people that do drugs. He just really loved how it made him feel.
right.
So
He loved the attention that
ultimately,
it
he
gave him.
chose drugs over, his child, for instance, because he lost that because of drugs, and his
Right.
relationships. Like he just preferred to do drugs than those relationships, right?
Yeah, and that's what I
Right.
don't.
Because I got shouted down for saying that before, like
It's hard
um,
to
which because I don't understand addiction. They're like, he can't help it. He's got to do it. I'm like, well, maybe there's part of him that likes it. That's why he
right.
continues to do it. Like, what? Maybe it's me. I don't understand it, or like it just seemed like he really likes to do drugs, and he chose that before everything else, his career and everything.
So
So,
Uh,
put it into in like an easier way to kind of explain it. If I walk up to you and I have my hands out, and in one hand I say, okay, I got $1,000,000. And in the other hand, I say, all right, I'm going to pay you $1,000 a week for the rest of your life. Which hand are you going to
well,
take?
mathematically, I think the $1,000 a week might be smarter, wouldn't it?
yeah.
Exactly. But in his mind, he's not thinking that $1,000 a week is going to be the best thing. He's thinking that that million's going to
Mm,
be the best thing. So that's what it is. He's choosing what he thinks is going to make him feel better at that moment over something he doesn't think is going to be worth his
yeah.
while. Even, and I hate to say this, and like I said, y'all don't take this wrong way when I say this because I did love him, even choosing his own child over that at that moment because he enjoyed the thrill of it so much that he wanted to sacrifice anything and everything in that moment. When Aaron hit rock bottom is
Mm,
when he lost his kid. And then he started to use more because he was so depressed, so upset, so alone. He had nobody. He felt like it was just nothing. He just felt like
uh,
he was invisible. That's why he went live so much, to have that visibility again, to have somebody want to care about him and love him. And that's why he did it. Like he would just stay on live all the time, constantly, because people would look at him, encourage him, say words that he wanted, say things that he wanted. But when he ended that live, it was back to, okay, my
Yeah, he
life
was
fucking
definitely a
sucks.
glutton. He liked that attention. He like with everything. He sort of pigged out on whether it was drugs or whatever he could. It wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was a combination of drugs. So it's kind of whatever he could get his hands on. But so what I'm understanding is that he's taking drugs for fun originally. Then they start causing problems in his life, and he compensates by taking more, and then it turns into a vicious cycle.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing,
Yes, there we
Aaron
go.
and his
Thank you.
family cycle. A lot of things in his family leads up to when Aaron was younger because Aaron was forced into his career
A
by
much
his mother, who was a drunk
drunk.
and an alcohol, like a real bad addict, an alcoholic. She abused multiple things, and they thought that the only
Another.
way that they can get ahead was to have the kid do that, and that's why Nick became famous and Aaron became famous. But Nick became part of Backstreet Boys, so he made it bigger than Aaron at that point. So they had to push Aaron even more because they wanted Aaron to be successful just
Yeah.
like Nick. When Aaron got older, you know, he did. I mean, he did his albums and stuff like that. But then Aaron stopped being as successful as Nick, so he stopped that
I
point.
see a lot of similarities between Aaron and his mum. They're like very alike in a lot of ways.
They're That's why Jane is on Facebook rambling and ranting about the shit that she's saying because she's drunk and high and she's going down the same path as her son, because that's how it is in their whole family.
And how do you
I
expect
mean,
Nick to have a relationship with that, though? Like, anyone that says, oh, Nick's an asshole for not talking to his mum, if my mum was doing that shit to me, I'd cut her off too.
well, look, I love Nick too.
Issues.
Like, let me just tell you, the whole Carter family's got issues like any family has. I mean, they're in the spotlight because they're famous, yes, but they have shit going on, and it's public because of that reason. But here's the thing, though. Nick has shit going on, too, that many people don't know, but he keeps a lot of his shit under
I
wraps
mean, and you're
because of his wife
supposed
and
to
kids.
protect them, protect your anonymity.
Oh, I saw Staffy K was in here. He can tell you all about Check, because we had Check live before Staffy.
My question for you,
Ooh.
Panda, and I really appreciate you being so honest, because like I said, most people who at least knew Aaron Carter or thought they knew Aaron Carter can't seem to do that.
Right.
He had real trauma, right? I did a video before on some of the stuff that I know he went through that he doesn't talk about. I know you can't speak for him.
Yes.
But why do you think he rather talk about certain stuff that may not be as real or as true versus actually talking about the real trauma and the real things that he went through?
Because look, I'll be honest with you. If he really sat down at the end of the day, looked at everything about his life, literally everything, you would be really a bunch of emotions: disgusted, pissed off, upset, sad, sympathetic. There's a lot going on.
Yes,
that I mean, you would really feel bad for this guy. You would
but
really
shouldn't we
feel really
have,
bad for this guy.
because see, I'm only coming and I'm trying to talk as like the viewers, the audience. When I first like started watching Aaron, I low-key, like, I felt bad because I was like, damn, he has a story. Like, I know how it is for child stars. I understand, especially being the younger brother, when your mom is a money-hungry woman who couldn't, you know, get her fix off of Nick, so I'm just gonna force you to go do it. Jive and Johnny Wright and all of them only wanted a quick cash grab. They was like, we can use him to make money and, you know, throw him away real quick. But I feel like Aaron would have gotten a lot more support if he would have been, like, he wanted to be a whistleblower. He kept saying he was a whistleblower, but the stuff he was blowing was fucking.
He knew some real shit that he could have told on a lot of people. And I'm going to go ahead and blow the whistle for you right now. Aaron was raped by Lou Pearlman. Aaron was raped by Michael Jackson. Did he want to tell people that? No, he did not, because he did not want this shit on blast. But yes, he was raped by Lou Pearlman.
Hold on.
And he was raped by Michael
The
Jackson.
problem is Aaron said so many lies, he loses credibility for me. I don't know.
Because was it Michael or was it Chris Rock or Bruce Willis that night? Because are we talking about when he was at Neverland?
That's Michael Jackson.
Okay, so
100%. And
did he ever tell you about Bruce Willis? You don't have to answer. Again, you don't have to speak for him, but I just need to make sure that I'm not crazy, because I really did feel like he had shit.
Tell me what you know, I will confirm it.
I will
tell me what you know.
This. Bruce Willis and Aaron had a very odd relationship for. I mean, he got $1 million
then the answer is yes.
So I'm gonna assume it wasn't just for performing for his daughter one night.
Okay, let me say this: there was some sexual relationship with them,
and that's what I felt like. Aaron was. He was. I don't want to disrespect Ed, but he was a
why he stuck up to Lou Pearlman, and is because he did not want to bring a lot of light to shit, because at the end of the day, he did not want his mom to get any more out of him than she already bled him dry for $50 million as it is. Sorry, 500 million, whatever the fuck it was. He did not want her to get any more money than what she already took. So he lied. He lied because he wanted it just done. It's over with. He dealt with it. That's it. He dealt with it in his own way, and it was swept under the rug.
And of course, that had to have, like, put more on him because he kept picking up the pieces for his parents. He kept picking up the pieces for his mom, his dad, their fuck ups, and he just kept letting it pile on to him. But I really wish he would have just been honest about some of the stuff, because fuck your parents. Like, they put you through this.
Right. They put him through this, and he was so forced to, by his mom, not his dad, by his mom only, to tell what really happened with him and these people, because she wanted to sue them for more money, because she thought that was going to give her what she wanted. And now she's broke and she has nothing because Aaron is gone. So her cash cow is gone. She has nothing.
Right. But that's what she deserves.
And
if I'm being honest, I feel like her and damn, I can't even think of the dad's name right now, but they both pretty much built their children to be these fucked up people. For his mom to be so verbal with, like, oh, well, that's why Lou Pearlman molested your brother. And I don't know if you remember that live. There you go, Bob. I don't know if you remember that live where they were both on the phone laughing about it. How could you do that? And Aaron went through it. Like, when he was on the documentary with the Backstreet Boys about Lou Pearlman, and he was bawling his eyes out, I was like, how is nobody seeing that this man?
You know, there's his eye right there, and by that interview, everybody should have knew what he was really trying to say, but he could not fucking say it. And even when he said the interview about Lou Pearlman, and he looked dead ass at the camera, and he said he didn't do that, so stop. He was giving everybody verbal, literally clues in his face that I was messed with, I was raped, but I cannot come clean. In the industry, there's shit that you can say and there's shit that you can't say. And Aaron hid things for so long until finally now he's gone and shit's going to start coming out. The truth will come out. There's so much things about him that happened in his life that if people knew his stomach, your stomachs would really turn.
I did a video, right? Because I will say I extensively researched Aaron, because to me he was so interesting. We've never seen a celebrity or a child star, for that matter, be so open about certain stuff.
Right.
And I will say that, in my opinion, because I wasn't there, the industry and his parents and management used him as a pass around. In the industry, that's a very big thing that happens to kids. But I don't think the truth will ever come out, because Aaron took it with him to his grave. Aaron would have been the only person really.
He took some of it, but he only told people that he 100% trusted and knew that nobody would say anything. Lots of things about him. And there's very few people that know those things. There can be people right now that's probably here that think that they know things that they only know portions. A lot more things that it's just sickening. A lot.
I hope the truth will come out. I know a lot of child stars like Christy Romano. She played Kim Possible. She has a podcast called The Vulnerable Podcast.
Right.
And she's her and Allison Stoner, they're very big on trying to help child stars, like, redevelop into normal life.
Right.
But I do think, I hope at least for that comment that I seen, that the truth comes out, because it'll help somebody else. I think Aaron had a story that could have helped other people, or at least let people let up on him.
He did. And if he came out and actually sit and told everybody everything that happened to him in the industry about everything, you would not want to be famous. And that, again, let me reiterate, I'm not famous for a reason. I don't want to be put through the shit that he was put through. I don't want my life on a microscope. I don't want people to, come at me for things, or, bad things happening. I want a decent life. Something he never had. And I mean, people's asking about the symbol and what Aaron did that. If you didn't notice, Aaron did a lot of symbols resorting to one cult that's very public, that is very hidden, that people are talking about, and a lot of people are
We're not
part of
talking
it
about
in
the
the
eye, are
Hollywood.
we? Okay.
Yes, we are. And he was very much part of it. Very much. So it's
Listen, I
Chet,
made a
just so you
whole
know.
video calling Check an Industry Plant, and a lot of people got on my head because they were like, he's not.
Yes. No, he is. 100 is. Look at his bracelet on his damn arm. He has the Illuminati eye on his bracelet. Look at Rocky. Look at Rocky and Aaron's video, Demons. What's in the background of the damn video cover? I mean, the album cover. It's a fucking eye. There's clues everywhere, y'all. I mean, they're all into it. They're all into it. It's all of them. All of them. That's why Check, Aaron, Rocky, all of them. Adam 22, all of them. All of them are involved in it. Real last
Okay.
name ain't
My
Gray
only
Mason for
question with
nothing.
that is, I don't even want to say too much, right? Because it's a whole thing, but I can believe that at one point they might have been associated with some sort of group, but I really do feel like the big eye is something that's more like protected. Like they wouldn't just let everybody in.
He considered himself. Let's just say this.
Okay.
He considered himself part of it. The meaning of him wearing
like
the black and white checkered stuff and putting his face, covering his eye, doing the hand symbols with the triangle. There's a lot of things. If you went back and looked at Aaron's photos and videos, he does it quite a lot.
I believe that, and I definitely do think he gave a lot of hints. I think a lot of those people are trying to like show their allegiance or show that they're down for whatever the fuck. But
so let me tell you this. How big of a liability he would be for Illuminati, laughing my ass off. That's funny that you say that because Aaron knew stuff to expose a lot of people in the industry, and people are thinking that he was killed off because of that reason. So I don't think that would be a liability. I think that he was off because he could have exposed them. So keep your comments to yourself because you don't know shit.
You respond to these comments very well. I'll give you that. You got this shit on back.
Again, I known the man for 10 years. I learned me some shit about some trolls. That's why he collected them.
But
literally collected
why
them.
did he invite so much and you can't answer this because you're not him, but why did he invite so much negativity into his life?
He loved it.
No matter
he loved the attention. That, I mean, let's be honest. He was lonely. He got on live. People talk crap about him. He got the attention. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's how he got attention, right?
Yeah,
exactly. You can't get attention when you're not in the public eye. If you're at home constantly,
he really got attention once he started like hitting his teens is when he started getting like his traffic tickets and the car accidents and all of like the negative stuff. That's when he started always being on TMZ and doing the wild shit, saying wild shit to get attention. That I think attention, like I said to
it started with Sister Leslie though, because when she started doing this stuff, she actually introduced him to it. And not only that, but he was molested by his sister before she passed away. So with that being said, he had a lot of trauma because of his sister, and that issue. So that kind of fucked with him too.
I can't speak on the family issues because of course I wasn't there and they're both passed on.
I know, but that's what starts it.
My question though is how would when Aaron and Nick had the most power in the family? I can't see the power dynamic of the way the family worked for her to overpower him. I could definitely, and I know this for a fact.
It's easy when you're vulnerable. Like, I mean, it's easy when you're vulnerable and you have a family that just don't really give a shit about
I
each
definitely
other,
think
honestly.
in the family there was some weird shit. The way Bob was and the stuff that I've heard about Bob, the stuff that I've seen about Bob. They call him Old Dirty Bob or Old Touchy Bob for a reason.
He did not sexually assault Leslie. Who is this Pimp My Juice person? Like, you're talking a lot of shit and you won't come up. So why don't you come up and like face me?
Can I say something?
Yeah, go.
Let's say, for instance, that Leslie didn't assault Aaron. What kind of person does that make Aaron for making something like that up?
He would be look, again, don't take this wrong way, but he would be a narcissistic,
if you had a sibling that was saying that about you, would you cut them off?
Would I cut him off?
Because Aaron also lied about having cancer a few times as well. He said over the years, I could probably rattle off a fair few things that he jumped back and forth with truth and lie. You don't know what's what. And he did say shit about Leslie, but then he retracted that and said how great she was other times. So he loses his credibility, which makes me think that it didn't happen and that he's lied about it, and that makes him a scumbag for saying something that foul about his dead sister. And when I hear people talk badly about Aaron being passed, they get a pass with me because Aaron said shitty things about his sister.
Let's go back though to the fact that Aaron had multiple personalities. Okay, so when he's saying shit on one hand, that could be a completely different person saying stuff, and then you see him on another hand talking about something else, and that's
a cop-out, because then the next day when he's thinking rationally, why isn't he retracting those statements and saying, oh, I'm so sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Like, if I said that in a manic state about my sister, the next day I would be on there going, fuck, I was manic, I was having problems, I was having issues, and retract that shit. Like, that's fucked up.
I'm not defending Aaron, but I will say that's the difference between just being manic and having a lot of other mental issues. I genuinely think that sometimes Aaron was not there. Like, I don't, and it's not an excuse. I'm not saying he was right for it, but I'm just saying that I could definitely understand how someone with multiple personality disorders, schizophrenia, bipolar, and among other shit could be like, not in the right mind to say I lied or that's not true.
All right, I'll try and be fair there and compromise, but just say I did no jump up and I watched my own interview, which was Aaron's, after. I would tell myself, watching that interview in a sane state of mind, I will never go on that fucking podcast again, because if I'm off my head and don't realize it, if I'm manic and don't realize it, I'm going to say a bunch of crazy shit and I'm going to look like a fuckwit, and so I would ban myself from doing it.
I think that's why he's going back to the podcast so much.
I mean, I can't really speak for him on why he did it, or why he did what he did. I mean, because I'm not him, but it's just, at the end of the day, he was a very troubled, had a lot of problems individual. I mean, that's just how it is. But, let me just say this though. If he wasn't in a famous setting and he wasn't in the spotlight, would anybody even care about his life right now?
Which makes me upset for the people that are like him, that are out in the wilderness, roaming the streets.
I mean, they're worried about him and what he did in his life. Like people knew his personal, what he did on a daily basis. And they're like, oh, I've seen him doing this, I've seen him doing that. Right. Nobody really knew what he did behind closed doors. You weren't there. I wasn't physically there, but I mean, I know what I'm told.
You can make
but you also get to choose what you believe as well. It's not a one-way thing.
Yeah.
Like the Illuminati thing, I just think it's a bit, out there. Well,
well, when I say that, I mean, It's just he
which I
believed he was
Oh, so
part of it. Let
so
me just
you
say
don't
that.
believe that? You believed he believed that?
Oh, I
Okay.
don't. I believe he believed it in his own mind, but do I think he was really a part of
You
the
believe
said
that
Illuminati?
there is
No.
an Illuminati?
Honestly,
Okay.
do I think so?
Because
No.
when I was listening to you
I
before,
mean,
I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Sorry. So I misread what you were saying before.
I don't know if that is really true or not. Just like I don't know if Area 51 houses aliens. I mean, come
yeah.
on. You know, do we really know that shit's true?
No, I mean
Like,
that's a good
I'm
point
just
because we
saying.
don't know what really is or what really isn't. I think that what we do know is that Aaron had issues and that Aaron put a bunch of stuff out on the world, whether it was true or not, and just kind of gave it to everybody. Run with it. Say whatever the fuck you're gonna say. Believe whatever the fuck you're gonna believe.
You know what I was saying when he was doing the clues? I said he was
Mm-hmm.
doing the finger up against his face, the triangles, the covering his eye, and wearing the checkers, meaning that he was giving clues as is to he thought he was part of the Illuminati. It's literally on all his pictures. You can see it. What the hell are you talking
I don't
about?
know what you're talking about. I don't get that.
I read the comments. It's
Yeah.
Anita person.
Uh,
They are.
But I would
People
say
are
this,
stupid.
Aaron must be loving this sort of after-death exposure that he's getting. All these people talking about him after he's gone. He would be loving this.
He would have been so excited to see this.
So,
Yeah.
question for y'all. Do you believe all these mediums and all these psychics and all these spirit box people that claim
No.
that
No.
Aaron is in their house?
Rico,
What's up?
Okay.
That's the
how you doing,
to
girl?
get clout. What's up? How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. I don't mean to interrupt the conversation. I saw everything that happened tonight. Shit was wild, huh?
Yeah, Check was wild. I hope hey, I think he's probably crying somewhere. I wish him the best.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you for letting
Yeah,
me come on.
I'm gonna get off
It's 2
too,
a.m.
guys.
here.
But
I'm gonna hop off. I got dinner reservations later on this evening, so I don't want to miss those. But appreciate it. Much love to you. And if you ever want me on
absolutely, I
again, just
always
let me know.
invite
I'll hop
everybody.
on
Like
with
I
y'all.
say, whether you're a crazy fucking deranged person or you guys are like you guys, it makes sense. I
Which
love.
category do I fall into?
Yeah, I appreciate
You seem cool.
it. Have a good night.
Much love, y'all.
Steven, what's up with you?
Not a mucho. Just, still wondering what the hell happened earlier.
Heck was he was triggered. I think he was getting too many questions from stuff that he's publicly said or did that he can't answer for. And I definitely think Check he got scared and ran.
And he
Yeah,
had
he comes
his
in.
manager come in, right? Was that his?
Yeah, his manager that's not managing much. That's why I was trying to ask them like what the fuck he was even on the live for, because he was just sitting there.
Yeah, he was basically, and then you had that one guy that was just, I hate to say it, but he was, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
That
You know what I'm saying?
kept trying
Like, on another
like
planet.
reel in, but he's on a good one.
Yeah, I hear you. It would have been nice to have an old school, freestyle battle. That's what
Yeah,
I wanted to hear.
because what the fuck are you guys rappers for or artists for if you guys are only on Instagram to argue? Like that's not.
Exactly.
And I don't for a fucking second believe that Check isn't a asset to his estate. I refuse to believe it.
100. 100.
There's
Yeah. Like, I'm sure you're familiar with it. I come from the old school backpack, you know, all underground rap. Like, none of these dudes came from that.
they're clout.
Like,
His
you know what I'm
music
saying? Like,
is garbage.
No, his
what's
music
that?
is trash.
Dog shit, I like to call
It's
it.
blunt, yo. Whose man-made Check's grill is fucked up teeth? Yeah, that was I didn't mean to say that out, my bad. Fuck, that's funny though. You get pinned for that. Cause no, real talk. He that's how you know he only cares about the like what people like. He went and got the fake dreads. He went and got the little crooked ass grill that he did. And it didn't help.
It probably costs more to get it crooked
Hell yeah.
than a
I used
straight
to
one.
work at a jewelry store, and it's really hard to get the mold of crooked teeth. So I know.
Why
But
didn't you pay
yo,
for
you know about
braces
that
and
fake
paint
grill
them
shit
gold?
though. You know about the fake grills. It's probably just tinfoil.
It could be. It could be. I mean, like his dreads. His dreads are fake. So
Like West YC Murder's locked up
yeah,
over that shit. You know what I'm saying?
it'll be
Like,
saved. It'll be under the whatever the live thing. And I'm also gonna take clips and post it up on YouTube. But
definitely. That shit was epic tonight, though. I gotta give you props on that. That shit was epic.
I tried, and I really want to do more. But the way that these internet people like act, I can't do that. They just
Word.
and say a bunch of bullshit. Like the whole time Ghost and Check were arguing, they just sounded like two lovers mad at each other. Like, oh my God, you didn't take me back. Oh my God, you didn't like my picture on Instagram. What the fuck?
They sounded like, I hate to say it, no disrespect. Fuck it. They sounded like two little bitches. Like, for real. Like, if you're, like, where I'm from, if you get a problem with someone, you shoot the fair one. Like Necro said, I don't know, like, I don't know if you're familiar with Necro or NEMS, FYL.
Yeah, NEMS.
You know what I'm saying? In New York City, if you get a problem with someone, you shoot the fair one. You know, you put up your fist. You don't grab a Glock and shoot. You know, you shoot the fair one. You shoot the 5. That's what these dudes need to obviously do. They need to shoot the 5.
I don't think any of them fucking really fight, know how to fight, like to fight. Check the Star is a Christian rapper who wants to make a fucking name for himself.
He's good at manipulation, though. I think he's good at manipulating the conversation really well. He's quick on his feet with his lies. He's able to back up his lies really quickly. He's hard to get. He's so snaky. But in saying that, even in the small rap community over here, all of the guys here he wouldn't last a minute. They'd all jump on his head.
Wait, are you from Britain?
No.
Where are you from?
Down under, mate.
Australia. So y'all know, Necro actually, I think Necro actually knocked out a couple guys' teeth down there. You heard of Necro?
Nah.
Oh my
Sorry,
Yeah,
brother.
man. He's wild as hell.
Yeah.
But like I said, like, I don't mean to take the spot, but I just gotta say, like, these dudes nowadays, they're too afraid to lose their pride in a fist fight. That's what it is. Like, they're too afraid. Oh, like, you know, my image is tarnished because I lost the fight. Like, dude, you lost the fight. What's the worst that can happen? You get beat up, you get jumped, or, you know, you just, the way, like, you don't. And then the other thing is, like Necro said on No Jumper, you don't let beef rot because it will stink.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You don't let beef rot. Like, you got to settle that. You got to call the person up and squash it because beef will stink.
That's the problem with Check's career is that he based his career and his views off beef. So, you know, he's not going nowhere. He's just going to smell for the rest of his life.
Yeah,
Do you think he thinks his music is good?
Yes.
Oh,
I think
that's so
he
sad.
genuinely believes that he's making music that people want to hear. When I did my video on him and I went and like listened to all of the songs on YouTube, he sounds like the most generic SoundCloud rapper that you could find on SoundCloud.
I just gotta ask.
That's actually quite sad.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Did you do that for your information for the job, or did you do that for fun?
That was for both, honestly. One,
yeah, okay, I got you.
The stuff that he was saying and doing, it's like he knew stuff, but his career wasn't showing what he knew. Like, you know, type shit. It wasn't reflecting. And of course, when I searched it up, yeah, this nigga has changed his style more than anybody who changes their style. He hops from anybody famous and just wants stand near them to be able to say that he was there.
He's a dick rider.
Yeah,
He was shot
he's
in
a
the head.
professional.
Yeah, and
He
I
claims
gotta
to have been
ask you
shot in the
though,
head.
Rico, I gotta ask you one question because I feel that, you know, you being an African American woman, I think it's
I
time
prefer
that
black.
we
You can say black.
no, I black, yeah, I mean black, yeah, whatever.
I just,
Like with all these dudes like that are Latino, white, saying the N word all the time. How do you feel about that? Because I don't agree with it.
I don't, but I grew up in Southern California, right? LA, down
Yeah,
San Diego. I went to school with a lot of Hispanics. I learned
right.
I can't fight everybody every day for saying the word. So I had to like mentally just tell myself, like, I know I don't like it, but they're gonna do it. And that's why it pissed me the fuck off when I told Ghost World to stop saying it. Because Chet literally tried to justify him saying it. And
Word.
trying to switch sides and like, oh, don't fuck with Ghost because he's what the fuck, and oh, don't like, that's that bullshit. That's that bullshit.
He tried to justify it after he
You know,
said
he
it.
definitely was like, I'm Puerto Rican. Puerto Ricans are allowed to say it. No, because Puerto Ricans consider
No.
themselves black or African American. You consider yourself Latin or Hispanic. So no, you don't get to say it. But Czech is, again, gonna do whatever he can to make him look cool or feel cool.
Yo, I even
More,
told, I don't mean to interrupt y'all. I even told
sorry.
Suge Knight's son, like he was talking about Death Row Records. He called it, he had some dude on meth talking about Meth Row Records now and shit. And it was a white guy on meth. I'm like, he was dropping the N word. I'm like, bro, you can't be saying that shit. You should know better. Your father owned Death Row Records.
But see that
This shit wouldn't fly in '96. This shit wouldn't fly when Eminem came out. Like all of this it's just taboo to me. I would never drop the N word. Never.
it's because these people, and I can't even call Chet a kid because he's a grown ass man, but
Right.
live on the internet. They don't really be outside with like real niggas. That's why he stays with his DJ and he stays with like his manager and he stays with these certain people to protect him. Because like Zena said, he's really a punk and he just kind of follows these dudes.
He's a follower.
Hey,
He ain't a leader, that's for sure.
What about Immortal Technique? What's he?
Immortal.
He's you want to answer that?
Because I respect him, but he does say the N word, and I don't think he's African American.
He's Peruvian.
Staffy, I have been getting a lot of people sending me your stuff. If you're still here, I'm gonna hit you up so we could talk. I'm gonna follow you right now. But thank you for stopping in.
Hold on. Just the answer, Technique, Immortal Technique is from Peru. He's Peruvian.
See a rap?
But
So they get a
yeah, you ever heard of Immortal Technique?
Nah.
Really?
Oh my god,
he's awesome.
You need to check out what's the name of that song? Just any Immortal Technique song. Just go to YouTube, type in Immortal Technique. Tell her, yo.
Yeah, he's actually like underground, like sort of Dead Perez political crazy, but he was more like George Bush era, so a lot of his relevance has sort of died off now.
What was that
yeah,
song?
he's pretty good.
That song where he talked about where he actually did that shit in real life about on the rooftop.
Dance with the Devil.
What's that?
Dance with the Devil, where that chick gets raped or whatever.
Yeah, that's the realest. I get goosebumps. You know what I'm talking about?
I've heard that song. I didn't know like the artist, but I have heard that Dancing with the Devil song.
Yeah,
you should try and listen to some of his stuff. It's really good.
Oh my god, dude! Yeah, for sure. That shit was. When you said that, I got goosebumps immediately. Like, it's just crazy. He's a real artist. He's still doing it. I mean, I feel like I've heard about the N-word thing. I've heard like, all right, if you've been around Brooklyn your whole life and you've heard, you know, the N-word, you grew up in the projects, you know what I'm saying? Like, or you're a Puerto Rican, or you just hear it constantly, or you grew up in the 90s. It was said to you, like your neighbors say it, the Asians say it, the Middle Eastern people said it. Like, it's just something that was common term. But nowadays, I feel like it's like all the white, like Necro stopped saying it, Nem stopped saying it. Shout out Mr. Heist never said it. Like, a lot of the underground dudes I know stopped saying it because of racial reasons, because they don't want to be looked at like that. You know, they don't want to be hated.
Not everyone, because I have a white friend, right? And I'll be very honest. He was my best friend for years, since middle school. Super blonde hair, blue eyes, 6 foot tall, white, right?
Yeah.
He said the N-word around me. I knew he wasn't racist, and I knew like the type of person he was. But as soon as we got around my cousins or other people who didn't know him, he couldn't just because they don't know you. They don't know that that's okay. So a lot of the rappers who used to say it, it's definitely like Fat Joe. Fat Joe used to always say it, and he still kind of agrees with saying it. But nowadays, you know, people are trying to get upset with him, and it's like if the people around him let him say it, you could say it in the comfort of your own home, but don't be surprised if you get the shit beat out of you or if you get canceled because you say it.
I mean, in Boston, where I live, you can't go to Roxbury and drop that. You never could.
No.
You never, like Dorchester, Roxbury, Four Corners. You go up there and say, "Yo, my end, what's poppin', my end?" You know, you'll get your face caved in.
People like Y-Eazy. That's what pisses me off. They say it so much. Like, I could understand if you're saying it like how normally, but they use it as a verb. Like, they use it like and or like.
I never say, even when I'm rapping to Tupac, I try to avoid saying it the best I can, because I was raised, my uncle taught me, you never say that word. You're not black.
Right. And
it's not your word. It's like,
no,
you know?
And we need more people like you, because there's too many people like Y-Eazy's and Check the Stars and people who are just bullshitters, man.
Straight I think that we need to embrace honky a bit more. I want to be called honky. Maybe I should change my name to honky.
The here already thinks I'm some fucking racial like sadist or some shit. So I don't know what they're saying, guys. Once I post this, I'm not.
No, you good, Rico. You always good. You keep it 100. You did your best tonight with
Hey, you guys so fucking much. Everybody who's still on here, the people who came join the live, you guys made my fucking night. This is all I've really been wanting, is to talk to people about like some real shit. Like weird YouTube rabbit hole, because not even just about Aaron, but all of the shit.
What is your? You're still posting actively on Instagram, right? I mean on Facebook, right?
YouTube,
yeah. Right. You see me in the comments, right?
Yes, definitely. I have a new video dropping tomorrow. It's on Kyle Massey and his rape allegations and his being falsely accused. So yeah, I will, and I'm gonna be doing lives too, guys. So whenever you guys want to come on, if there's a night where you're like, fuck it, let's just hop on live and talk about some shit, DM me. My DMs are open. Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you guys so much. Everybody here, appreciate you. It's late as fuck where I'm at. It's 2:23. So
me too.
I'm a flash.
Me too.
But again, thank you guys so much. Mad love.
See you, Rico.
Everybody have a good night. The live will be up. My YouTube is Posted Medias.
Am I gonna be live right now? Am I gonna be live?
You're gonna be on the live. Yes.
All right. Hi, Mom. How you doing? I hope you are having a good day. If I get famous one day, I love you. I swear to God, I'll be the next Adam Sandler, and Rico will be my manager or my, boss or whatever.
Definitely will manage.
Whatever you want to do, Rico.
Hell yeah. No, I fuck with you guys heavy. So everybody have a good night. Be safe. I will see you guys tomorrow on fucking YouTube. Love you guys.
Rock on.
All right, let's do this.